everyone. It is Thursday. Thursday, I tell you. That's what we want to know. What day is it? It is Thursday. How are you this evening? It is great to have you here. Tell me about your day. On this very late Thursday night, tell me what's happening in your world. What is going on? Hey, yoga is over. I'm doing my tree. It is great to have you here, Kelly. How was your day? What are you grateful for? How them new yoga moves going? I don't even know beyond that tree thing, and I'm supposed to get down, and with my dog, I don't know much about yoga, I admit. My doctor told me to do that and meditate once. I laughed. Hey, Kitty is here. Adele and Dazzle are here. Dazzle, it's treat time. Are you still asleep in the rain? It is good to have you all here. What is happening in your world tonight? What are you grateful for on this late Thursday night? Late Thursday night. I'll get into why I'm late. Get into it a little bit because it's important. Got your yard mowed after work and the weather is beautiful. That's good. I like beautiful weather. My yard got mowed today too. But Bill did my yard. I don't know about you, Kitty, but Bill did my yard. It feels like Tuesday again. Yeah, it's been a day. I'll tell you that. I mean, you know, we had to call the police for a lady. It's been a day. It's been a day, Kelly. But you are better for it. You are better for it. You've yogaed. You've got this. You've got this. You have got this. Yeah, I know you do, Kitty. You're one of those that finds it relaxing to do your yard. Not me. Not me. I get stressed by it. I get stressed by it. Let's get started with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this day. Tonight we're on page 166. Good morning, people of every color, shape, and stripe. Hold up, you with the stripes. Get over here. That's awesome. People of every color, shape, and stripe. Everyone is awesome. It is great to have you here tonight. Today's been a day, folks. I am sorry I am so late, but today has been tonight's been a day. So I am late because I've spent the last several hours at a town meeting. And, you know, I got to remind you that everything starts, you know, you look at politics up and down the chain and everything starts local. Local is where it all starts. It's also incredibly difficult. You know, tonight was one of those nights that I could have easily gotten elected first selectman of our town. Not a job I want, but a job that I acknowledge is a thankless job. But that's not why you do it. And I told them that tonight. You don't sign up for a job like select. All of politics is a thankless job, okay? You don't do it for the thanks. I don't care what role you're in. You don't serve on the board of the Chamber of Commerce. You don't serve on your town PTO committee because of the accolades you get. You don't run for school board or mayor or town selectman for the thank yous. You do that to make your community a better place. Like the things in our stores, you are a caretaker of that board, or that what you do, that how you serve, how you give back for a period of time. And sometimes you have to remind elected officials of that. You know, we're in a small town, and you know, just to give you an idea of the town that we're in, I forget what our actual population is, but for the budget vote, we didn't have 300 people show up to vote. You almost had that many people show up at tonight's meeting. The last time there was that many people in town was when CVS tried to come to town. and try to put the little mom and pop pharmacy out of business. And I showed up to that meeting too and told them not in our town. Or not the way they did it. It was the way they did it that was wrong. And that was what the town elected officials were doing wrong tonight. Was maybe what their intention was not wrong, but the way they did it was. And so you hold them accountable when they do that. And so from that perspective, it was a good meeting. And I'm one of those people that's good to have at a meeting like that, because a lot of people get very emotional about it, about whatever the issue is. And I get very factual at a meeting like that. So I am very boom, boom, boom. These are the facts. This is what we need to do. And this is why it is wrong. And so it was a very long meeting, but a very good meeting. So I apologize for being late to you tonight. So I will be succinct, or I'll be as succinct as I can be here tonight, because I had a pile of stuff that I was organizing to go over, because there's a lot going on right now, and we just, in so many different directions, and you need to be aware of it. So you need to know what's going on out there. And that's part of what I do. We are broadcasting tonight on both Facebook and YouTube. So if you're having any problems with Facebook, you can hop right on over to YouTube. I think Cassandra is driving. She's had a long day today too. So the link to YouTube isn't in there, but somehow people are finding me, because I can see people are on YouTube too. So we are on the YouTube channel. You're Not Alone Running the Store, and we're broadcasting on Facebook. Thank you all for that tune in live. Thank you even more for all of you that watch the replays. Google is doing a thing. Many of you are getting a notice from Google about your business page, and I want to talk about that a little bit tonight. Google is sending out notices. Well, actually, hang on a second. Here's a quote from Simon tonight. Before I cover the Googler, where's my two things on Google? Let's talk about what Simon says. If you believe it, say it. That is our quote from Simon today, and very appropriate considering my day today. If you believe it, say it. Google is sending a thing out to say, when you get your Google business report of what's happening when people Google you or look up your website, it says how many people called you this month, okay, from your listing. Hey, Rebecca popped in with the link to YouTube. So the link's there in the show notes. If we have any Facebook issues, you can hop on over. Thanks, Rebecca. My peanut gallery is always working. So Google is sending it out, a thing to small businesses that say, try call history on Google My Business. And they're advertising it as a way to see who's calling you, and that Google will track who's calling you, and that you can get all this new data on people that are calling you. It's a beta test of a service that Google wants to do. And you'll be able to see in Google search, you'll be able to see maps with call history and stay engaged with your customers. And it'll make it easier for you to connect with customers who found your business through Google. Oops, hang on a second there. Call history in Google My Business, GMB for short, is an experimental feature and only available to a select group of businesses in the United States. And when your customer uses the call button on your business profiles, their calls will show up in the calls tab in Google My Business. You'll be able to see recent calls, missed calls, and more. But the problem with this, so here's the problem. It sounds great. I'd love to know more about my customers. Thank you, Google. for sharing this valuable information. What's in the fine print of that? So what's the fine print? Well, Google's using a forwarded number. They're using another number to track all this data. So if you sign up for this service, when someone says, call this business, they will not be calling your regular number. They will be using an alternate number that Google creates for you that forwards to your regular business phone number. Okay, that doesn't still sound like a bad thing. On the surface, it doesn't sound like a bad thing. On the surface, it doesn't sound like a bad thing. But the problem is that phone number is now in the person's phone, not your number. So if your number is 555-5555, that number will not be what's in their phone. It'll be whatever Google is. And so then the person will save it and they'll say, Cutie Patooties is this number. Well, if you don't subscribe to this service in the future, which this service is designed to become a future paid service. Okay, right now it's in a testing mode and it's a beta mode, but it's designed to become a paid service in the future. If you don't subscribe to it and pay Google, okay, that number goes away. But it doesn't go away from the person's phone. So then when they call you in the future, that number won't work, or it'll go to a different business. And so that's the problem with this new service from Google, is that they are not tracking your actual phone number. They are creating this fake number. A lot of back in the days, if those of you remember the Yellow Pages, if those of you are old enough to remember the Yellow Pages, okay, if you are able to remember the Yellow Pages, some of you even advertised in the Yellow Pages. I did back in the day. You know, they would do the same game where they would create a fake number so they could track it. Or different website services would do that, where they'd assign you another number. Then when you stop advertising or you stop doing it, you lose that number. But that number is what's in people's phones. And when people call it and get something else or get a different business, then they think you went out of business. So kind of a bad thing then. So at least at this point, for the way Google is doing it, I'm saying do not sign up for this service. Do not sign up for this current free trial from Google if you get offered it. Yeah, Kitty, I mean, those guys were brutal. But back in the day, you had to advertise in the Yellow Pages. And Google is trying to create the next reliance on it. I mean, you already have to rely on Google and Facebook and everything else. You don't want to have your phone number locked into them as well. And the phone number is still valuable. Although there is a growing number of businesses, and I'm not there with this mindset, but I understand where they're going. So let me take this a step further. So you understand that this is a bad idea, okay, because you don't own the number. The number is nothing, and Google can change it at any time, okay? And Google can take it away from you if in the future you don't pay for it. Oh, it was super expensive. It was super expensive. Advertising in the Yellow Pages. But there are businesses coming out of this pandemic. One of the things we've talked about is that you have to constantly evolve. Okay, you have to continually oh my gosh, Kitty. Yeah, that was true. Anytime the Yellow Pages made a mistake, it took a year till it was fixed. And it really took years because some people wouldn't replace their phone book with the new one when it came. You know, I mean, it could take a long time to get it fixed. But let me take it to another level. Okay, so you understand the Google side of it. You understand the fake phone number side of it. Let me take it to another level, okay, which is what some businesses are doing as they adapt their way and grow their way out of this pandemic. And at first I thought this was extreme, but it is kind of smart. Okay. In the right situation, it is smart. And in the right situation, it is smart. Okay. Businesses are actually coming out of this pandemic eliminating their phone, not taking phone calls from customers, directing everybody to their website. They're doing it for a couple of reasons. One, to save the expense. I mean, we spend hundreds of dollars a month on our multiple line phone system. So we spend hundreds of dollars having a phone system and multiple lines and everything. So, I mean, it is expensive. Okay. So they save the expense by getting rid of a phone number. But what's more that they're doing is they're freeing up their time to spend with customers online. They're providing all the information to their customers online. They're directing customers to their website for all the information. They're directing them in store. So they're eliminating that connection, that phone connection. And I'm not sure that's the right answer for everybody, but it's certainly an interesting discussion point from a labor and business savings. If you add up all the time you spend on the phone answering, are you open, like Monday, on Memorial Day, are you open? Okay, well, that information was on our website that we were open. It was even on the Google, because Google asks you to post your Memorial Day hours. All the time on Monday that we spent racing to answer the phone because we knew that's what all the calls were. Okay, we spent a lot of labor doing that. Could that labor have been better used doing something else? And that's sort of the question. That is the other side of this question, and that is what some businesses are doing to grow their way out of this pandemic, actually eliminating their business phone. I can understand how that is useful in some circumstances. I'm not sure I'm there. I'm not there for broad implementation of that, but it's certainly, as you streamline what you do, which you have to streamline, you have to do more with less. We've talked about that. You have to do more with less. Is it consumer friendly now, Kitty? I'm not sure. In certain circumstances, I could argue that you're making everything consumer friendly on your website, on your Facebook page, on your Google business listing. If you're doing some of those things, I could argue that you are making yourself friendly. It depends on what your demographic is. It depends on what your demographic is. One of the people advocating for this was a restaurant owner who was running very short staff and was getting questions about, is there gluten in this, or is there that, or what are your menu specials tonight? Can I get a table? All these questions are answered on their website. And, it makes a compelling argument, especially as staffing is hard to get. Hey, Nebraska Angie's with us. How are you tonight, Angie? So I share that because they did the math, and beyond, I think I have my phone bill over there. It's $230 for our landline, all the lines that we have for our landline phone, which is potentially a valuable business tool. But maybe, maybe I could find something to do with $230 a month. I am right there with you. It definitely depends on your demographic, Kitty. It definitely depends on your demographic. But while I was talking about these Google fake phone numbers, I certainly wanted to let you know that people are doing it. But I definitely agree with you. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. Well, just pre-pandemic, okay? Just pre-pandemic, I was at my aunt's in Florida. Okay, probably just a couple weeks before the pandemic hit, I was in Naples, okay, and I was going to visit my aunt and uncle. I was down in Naples for business, but then I was visiting at my aunt and having dinner with my aunt and uncle, and my aunt's getting out the phone book. Well, what's the address? Let me get out the phone book. Let's see where we're going to go to dinner. I'm just like, really? We're getting out the phone book? How about the phone you're talking on? I don't know. That demographic exists, and you and I both know, especially starting with kids stores, that demographic spends. So having grandma come in and spend is a good thing. Having them be able to find you is a good thing, and they like to talk. So it's complex. It's complex, but I wanted to throw that out there that people are doing that there are businesses that are doing it. And I wanted to throw that out there with that conversation. Hey, Lindsay, how are you tonight? So just be aware of that, but be aware of the downsides with what Google is doing with the fake phone numbers, because that can come back to bite you. And I don't want it to bite you, nor do I want you to be locked into some long-term thing. Hang on, let me get some glasses here because I got to skip through some stuff. That's good. Hang on a second. There's like 3 things I got to let you know tonight. And the rest can wait. Give me 2 seconds here. Boom. I was like so late, I'm like, I just got to hop on. So that's a bigger discussion. That I'm going to cover. Woo. Yeah, there's a bunch that I have so much stuff that you guys actually need to know about. That you need to know about. Oh, come on here. I read in print. I read in print, people. That way I keep everything together. Okay, now I'm organized. Boom, boom, boom. And boom. All right. Ready, set, go, Neil. Now we can go. I thought this was important, and I thought this was really important, especially as we support Everyone is Awesome month here. Naomi Osaka dropped out of the French Open this week after tennis officials fined her and threatened further punishment because she refused to participate in post-match news conferences. Why did she refuse to do that? Because hostile questions from journalists exasperated her struggles with depression. Depression is real. Mental health is real, people. It is going on out there constantly. And, just because you're good at a sport and that makes you a public figure does not make you, doesn't make that any easier to deal with. She'd rather not play than have to deal with all that. And I get it. Rent the Runway is jumping into the fashion resale market. Rent the Runway has always had the option for subscribers to purchase items. Now they're going to make their whole site available for sale. So they're going to make their to non-member shoppers. No membership required. Without a subscription. No subscription necessary. Also jumping into the resale market is Etsy, because Etsy is buying apparel resale site DePop. DePop for $1.6 billion. Depop will still remain headquartered in London, operating as a standalone marketplace with its existing leadership. So DePop has over 30 million registered users across 150 countries, with 4 million active buyers and 2 million active sellers in 2020. Last year, its gross sales reached 650 million and revenue hit 70 million, more than doubling year over year. Resale is hot, people. Resale is hot. States are killing the extra 300 bucks a week. 26. We're now up to 26 states that are going to be dropping the extra $300 a week in June. 26 states will be dropping those extra programs. All but 2 Republican-led states are ending the benefits early. Massachusetts is one of those Republican-led states that is not yet ending those benefits. The rest of the state's Democrats, but the governor is a Republican. I don't know that this is the right answer that's going to put people back to work, but it is because it's more complex than just the $300. Hey, Ellen, how are you tonight? It's great to have the Queen of Chic in the house tonight. But that is going to help some parts of the job market. That is not the total answer. There are a lot of reasons why people are out of that are sitting on the sidelines collecting. Part of that is childcare. Okay, what do I do with my kids? None of the programs are normal. Many of them are not expected to return to normalcy till the fall. Okay, summer camps and things are coming back into play, but they're not running normally, many of them. So that's a real issue. And it's even one the president acknowledges in his National Month of Action. PB, President Biden, announced today his National Month of Action to mobilize an all of American sprint to get 70% of U.S. adults at least one vaccination shot by July 4th. The president announced a series of actions to make it even easier to get vaccinated. Even easier. The National Month of Action will include free childcare for individuals getting vaccinated. How about some free childcare to come to work? Okay, extended hours at pharmacies across the country in June to offer more flexible appointment availability. Community canvassing, phone banking, text banking, and vaccination events. A We Can Do This national vaccine tour. A mayor's challenge to increase vaccination rates in cities across the United States. A Shots at the Shop initiative to engage Black-owned barbershops and beauty salons. Blanketing local TV and radio and social media to get Americans the facts and answer questions about the vaccine, and a COVID-19 college challenge. But so Bright Horizons, KinderCare, the Learning Care Group are all offering free childcare to go get your vaccinations. Lyft, Uber is giving rides. The YMCA will give free childcare for during vaccination appointments. The list of people giving you something if you get vaccinated is growing by leaps and bounds. Bumble is even giving premium access to people who show their vaccination status on the page. You get a shot to fly on United Airlines. On Tinder, you get premium content to users who show their vaccination status. At the Vitamin Shop, you get a free healthy snack or beverage. Amazon gives you $80 if you get vaccinated. American Airlines gives you a day off plus $50. Amtrak gives you 2 hours of pay. AutoZone gives you $100. Who else? Houston Methodist Hospital give $500. $500 to get vaccinated at Houston Methodist Hospital. But they have low vaccination rates down there. The county where my sister's in, the vaccination rate's at like 35%. Instacart's kind of lame. For all their workers have dealt with, Instacart's giving $25. Petco is giving $75. United Airlines is giving 13 hours of pay to get vaccinated. Walmart's giving paid time off and $75. But probably the biggest of them all, okay, to Anheuser-Busch is giving free beer if we hit the president's goal. They're giving the nation free beer to have a Independence Day with a Budweiser. One round of beer to those 21 and older once Biden's 70% goal is made. So it's not even by July 4th. So whenever it is made, I'd like to buy the world a Bud and make them happy. I don't know. That's one of my dreams. I'd like to buy the world a Coke. I'd like to make that song true, you know? You got to aim for something. Got to aim for something. But that is part of the president's call to action. Get the shots in the arms. You know, I'm trying to get my team I'm trying to move the needle from my 66%. I'm trying to see if we can inch it up a little bit. I am working on it. I'll keep you posted on how I do with my team. You know what else I'll keep you posted on? Everything I talk about here. Everything I talk about goes over to nerds.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you. Everything's over there. All the files, all the things I reference, and a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store where you can like, comment, subscribe, and you know what? You can ring the bell so you know when a new one drops. You can also share narts.org/resale strong with all your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. We're helping everybody reach the other side. I am here live in the Narts private Facebook group every night at more 8 than ish. But if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program. If you weren't here at the top of the program, our good morning tonight is good morning. People of every color, shape, and stripe. Hold up, you with the stripes. Get over here. That's awesome. Our good night tonight is good night. People of every shape, color, and stripe. And those of you who change colors in the sun. Yeah, you. Good night. There's your graphics, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. If I don't know when we'll party again, maybe after we hit 70%. The president said then maybe we can party and have a beer. I don't know, but we will party again. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8 than ish, know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. It's time for dinner. I'll see you tomorrow.